Okay, welcome back. It's another day at Peak Havoc. We have another Jeep motor to swap. We're gonna do another Cherokee swap.
You guys have probably seen in the last couple of videos, just a random blue LJ in here. It's not ours, we're just working on it. It's now outside, and you know what that means. It's time to bring another busted ass Jeep in here, because that's what's always over here. Gonna be an out and in job. That's the way we like to do it. We're gonna go kind of more in depth. We already have, go check out our video, editor pinned the video here, of the fastest XJ motor swap. That's when you don't care about the Jeep. We're gonna do a little bit more in-depth video if you do care about the Jeep, because this one's pretty nice. So we're gonna go get the shit before the sun goes down, and we need to start doing that right now for the people at home.
That wasn't bad.
Yes.
And then I can go set it. Oh. Okay, there we go.
You want jump start?
Yeah, probably.
Go ahead.
Let's do that.
We already have the motor and everything for it. It's out back, and the sun is going down literally right now.
It is like right, it is getting close. Crank it up. That should be golden. Ooh.
All right, we reset the sun, so now it's on again, and now it's time to get started working on the Jeep.
Yeah.
Our plan for this video, if you watched our previous one, we tried to do like the fastest motor swap and it didn't go well. And we're not gonna do that again because we don't have time for that, ironically. So we're gonna try to do a slightly more in-depth process and show you actually how to do this, kind of, sort of step by step. You could try to use this as a tutorial, and if it doesn't go well, that's not my problem. Okay, so first, we're taking off the wiper blades so that we could put our hood straight up. We call it surface position, and it lets us get the engine out. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
hey, that's not so bad.
Will that happen again? Okay, so wipers are off, so now we can open the hood. Throw the prop into this lowest hole.
Bam. And that
Now-
definitely doesn't work when the wipers are on.
If you don't take the wipers off, you'll throw your hood into the wiper arm. Thanks, Chris.
So when you open the hood of your XJ, there's gonna be some loose bolts just around. You know, honestly, your ignition coil pack is gonna be loose. It's not gonna be installed. Probably why it ran like shit when it drove in here.
Yep. Another thing that we are gonna do, some people will pull the whole front clip and pull the transmission and transfer case out with them because the top two bow housing bolts are hard to get to. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna get down there, we're gonna drop the transmission, and once we drop the cross member, we can lean the whole drivetrain down like this, and then that'll let us get to all our bow housing bolts, and then we'll just leave that down there on the cart. And then this will come out. All we have to remove is the radiator, but the clip, the AC condenser, it all stays here. Another cool thing is we are not going to discharge the AC because both the lines going to the compressor are soft, so we can just unbolt the compressor and lay it where the battery is. So we'll take the battery out and the compressor. First, let's see what time it is. I think our goal for today is to get the engine bay ready. It is, let me make some room here. It is 2 o'clock, it's 2:02. So let's see how long it takes Seth and I to get this engine bay ready.
Another thing that we are going to do is bag and label the hardware. It doesn't matter that I've seen this hardware 1,000 times and I know where it goes. When you leave hardware out on the floor, like, I don't know, editor, insert the clip here.
I have a mess of bolts. I don't like Ryan's method. I like keeping it all messy.
No, is this the hardware tray?
This is the hardware tray.
So at least this way, it remains in like, I don't know, touchable condition.
Yep.
Like I don't hate to touch this without gloves on, and that's how I like to install it most of the time, is without gloves. Disassembly with gloves, reassembly without gloves.
And then we are gonna just pile all the bags in here and we'll write on them what they are. I'd pull your dipsticks out so you don't break the yellow top of them. Okay, there we go. It's got that disconnected, now that's out. Great, our first part is out. Now we are going to disconnect the battery. And then we will pull the battery out, and we will leave it probably on the floor right here. Yep, that's a good spot.
I'm just taking out the like throttle linkages bracket. It's just 2 little bolts that hold this guy in. Disconnect them before you take it out, but it's pretty simple. And then you just take this out. Oh. You just take that out.
These break really easily.
They do. You have to be careful with those.
And this one is not broken, which is impressive.
I don't really know why. Let's just put it in here. Here we go. Wow. Usually these are nicer to me. I'm just gonna move on to this one, which, oh my goodness! Just popped right out.
So we can take our throttle cable and stick it over here so that it is now permanently out of our way. He's popping the airbox off. It's pretty simple. There's a hose clamp here. There's 3 nuts in there once you take the box apart, and then you just have to pop these clips off. So he's gonna do that.
Friendly on occasion.
Or you lift the other side like that.
There you go. There's your guy.
There we go.
All right, take this off. Ooh, you just gotta wiggle it.
That thing's acting like it's been on there for years.
Right.
Great, that's the
Yeah,
top
one
half
piece.
of the airbox.
And you just have to take the filter out. There's
And then there's some bolts.
some bolts. Sometimes 1, sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Like it depends on if it's a like race Jeep, and there's been hardware savings and all that.
The next thing we are gonna do is pop this hose for the overflow tank. Damn. What we are doing now is we are gonna take these. This one is a zip tie because the thing is broken, but there are these bolts here holding the electric fan in, and then the fan shroud. I just have to do this one, and then I have to cut the other one because it's a zip tie. And now we're gonna cut our zip tie. And then with our zip tie cut and the plug unplugged, this will just barely clear the power steering pulley and come out of here. Sometimes it's hard to get the clip out, but, oh, that one's broken. Did that just break? No.
No, it was broken before.
So that it has these clips. This one is a replacement fan. This is not a original one, so it's cheap and plasticky. But anyway, this now goes, I'll set this up here. This is a good spot for up here.
So you guys might be wondering, going, hey, how many different 4.0s and how many different Cherokees do you guys have access to? The answer is a lot, and there's a reason for that. We push these vehicles to our friends because for the most part they're extremely reliable. And then when bad stuff happens and they can't pay to fix them or, you know, whatever it is, we're able to fix it. So there's green ones, there's white ones, there's this ones, there's that ones, there's red ones, they're everywhere.
Seth is disconnecting the fuel rail from the intake. It has a clip that's held onto the intake with. To take the fuel line off the fuel rail, you need these fuel rail clips. The way it works is there's a bung on the fuel rail, and then it clips over the bung and the spring holds it on. You need to be able to get it in there, compress the spring, and then it'll slide off. Because once you find the right size, you stick it in there, and then you take the fuel rail, you push it forward to get it off of that bung, and then you push this in more, and then it comes off. Just like that. Wow, very simple. This is also how the AC lines work. The connections here, if you ever need to take these off, it's the same. It works exactly the same way. So.
Right, I'm gonna start taking these bolts, and I think there might be a nut or two to get the core support out. Because you have to take off these nuts on the underside that are holding the front fascia on, and then just these bolts. Ugh.
Oh,
I didn't think you had to take those apart.
You don't have to take those apart.
I was gonna say, I
This just
don't know
comes
that
off,
I've
by the
never...
way. Okay, so now another big piece we're gonna try to find a nice convenient spot for, and it looks like it might fit perfectly. Right, yep, that's good. So what's remaining now is the wiring harness, the belt. We have to take the belt off to get the compressor off because we're not gonna discharge it. And then the radiator. So we have to drain the coolant, do the belt, do the wires. So let's do the belt first. My way of taking this belt off is slightly unconventional. So we're gonna grab a 15, I think. And this is our tensioner pulley, and we are just gonna take it off. So we're gonna take the bolt out, rip the tensioner off, and you'd think, oh man, that's gonna like send everything flying everywhere, but it actually doesn't. At some point, there we go, it comes out. It's got like a bunch of spacers. So there's a spacer, and then the bolt And then on the front, there's another spacer. Oh, this one's attached. Sometimes these detach. But yeah, so you got to keep track of that.
It's making me angry.
All right, we got the belt. So now when Chris gets here, we can give him the beat down. This is another part that works really well on the roof. See how good that works? So TJs, we're gonna use this as a diagram. If this is the radiator, TJs have a drain valve right here. Super easy to get to. It drains really slowly, but it's not very messy. XJs have a drain valve where the socket is, which is, you might be thinking, well, how do you get to that? And you don't. So you can see it here. I'll like zoom or circle it or whatever, but that's the petcock, and it sits above a bunch of stuff, so you can't get to it. So you have two options. You can fight with it. It drains onto the frame and then goes everywhere. So you're better off just pulling the lower radiator hose, making a big mess, rolling the Jeep out, cleaning the mess, pulling it back in, and starting over. That'll take way less time. So that's what we'll do. So the last guy that put this together, me, decided to put the clamp for the lower radiator hose behind the power steering stuff. So I got to take that apart first. So we'll start with that.
Yay.
Okay, and time for the next 4-0 magic trick. Just like the AC compressor, the power steering pump does not have to get removed. It just goes over here. And that's where it's going to stay until it's time to put it back on.
Do you have to take this bracket off to get the motor out, or are we just doing it because we screwed ourselves?
You know, here's the thing. I have no clue where the factory hose clamp is supposed to face. It's possible that this is necessary, but okay. That's all those off. Now the bracket's off. Yay. Here's my game plan.
Oh no.
So here's the problem. Let me describe a problem here. When you pull it out, what happens is all the coolant in the radiator comes rushing out of the hose, and then all the coolant in the block comes rushing out of the water pump, and then they. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna try to point them both straight down as fast as possible. That wasn't bad. That was not bad.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean, still, you can see behind.
This motor came out of the most chopped Jeep I've ever owned in my life. I'll insert pictures of it now. No, you're good on that. Yeah. Woo.
Don't talk about my Jeep that way.
So now he's taking off the heater core hose from the thermostat housing, and I'm gonna take my big fat air tool and blow air in there to try to get as much coolant out of this block as possible so it doesn't leak all over the floor later. One thing I like to do is I like to not disconnect the hoses from the radiator, because both connections, when the cover is over this, that makes both connections a pain in the ass to get to. So if they start leaking after, when you put everything back together, because your hose clamp isn't tight enough or it's not sitting right, it's a pain to fix it. Now we have to do the automatic transmission cooler lines.
It's right here. Right here. These normally go okay. Ryan.
What?
I found your goldfish. There it is.
Found my what?
I found the goldfish. So while we wait for that to finish drip dropping, we're gonna take out all the little electrical connectors for all the injectors, and then maybe the fuel rail, but I'll probably end up leaving that on there. I don't need to take that out. Can be really hard, or they can be really easy depending on if they've been broken before or destroyed. Or
if you take the pick to the bottom half of this clip and pull it away from the injector, you pull it and then it comes off.
Wow.
And then you can do that for all of them pretty
Wow.
easily. And then now it's time to pull this thing off of here. I don't know how to describe this. It just kind of sits on the top of the head bolts, because there's like a stud on top of the head bolt so that this can clip onto it. And a lot of people use pry bars to try to get them off, and then they break them.
You can just pull it up.
And all you really have to do is just pull it straight up. Sometimes it takes a second. See, just like that, it cracked, it broke. It's like not really your fault if it does break.
Oh no,
Yeah,
mister.
Really
You did break it.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Now we're gonna take all the sensors on the intake off. Unplug them all.
That's really easy. You just unplug them.
The hard part is fishing this harness under the fuel rail.
Mm-hmm.
And then this will live over here for the remainder of the swap. Let's do the transmission cooler lines now. Let's take our bucket of coolant.
Let's see the mess. Oh wow, that might be the cleanest that we've ever done that.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go put this on our plasma table.
And then what I do, because I'm a menace, I just got brown.
What are you doing? Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, I know. You just get it kind of spread out, because then it dries faster, and it's not a big deal after that.
I guess that's a way to do it if your mess isn't that big. Okay, is this one? Okay, that one's a 15/16. Great. This one's a 19. Great. Now we'll hold with the one and loosen with the other. Look at that. Just that easy, boys.
Oh my goodness. Chris has appeared.
Chris!
Hello, Mr. Christopher.
Mr. Quiz, you're back!
Hello,
Hi, Mr. Quiz! I think I'm gonna lift the radiator up partially. Oh, I'm stuck on the fan shroud. Okay, so now that this is lifted up a little, I can get to this easier. I can actually get to it really easily now. This one uses, there we go. All right, let's go carry this over to our bucket. Okay, great. I have prepared a wonderful spot for our radiator.
Wow. Yeah.
Do that.
You take this off, and you try not to break it. You.
Okay, now it's time for the AC compressor, guys. Check this out. So these bolts are extremely long. They go all the way down here, and they're really thin. But Jeep gave you these access holes so that you can spray penetrant straight onto the bolt, which is huge, and you need to use that because you will snap these bolts if you live anywhere other than California, Nevada, or Arizona. So we're just gonna loosen these all by hand, and then hopefully they'll all come out without breaking. Okay. And now, watch how easy this is, guys. We're gonna take our AC compressor, bam! And that's where that lives for the rest of the motor swap.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna take the heater core hoses and run them right where Seth is standing, over here. And use the hood prop to keep them. Oh. Now what is left is just the wires on this side. The alternator's gonna stay on, the water pump's gonna stay on, and so that pretty much means that the rest of the work that has to be done up here is these wires. For the crank sensor, oil pressure sensor, the alternator plugs, these two grounds here, there's a ground back here, and then it's the two motor mount bolts, and then everything else is under the Jeep. That nut is gonna come off, and then I'm gonna take the cable off, and then we'll put the nut right back on the alternator. Time for this ground. This one is for the crank position sensor and everything else that the motor needs to run. Oh man. Now we're gonna unplug these guys. This is our cam position sensor. Oh, and I need to do that again. Appears as though my fix has come apart. It's really just that simple, guys.
Yep. Now you just have to
Now we're gonna fish this out and
fish it out, move it out of the way.
set it to the side.
It's that easy. So even when explaining it to you guys, the end time is 3:29. So that's what, 2 hours, if that?
We started at 2:02.
Yeah, basically you can have this torn apart really fast. So we're probably gonna cut to the next day where we're gonna explain what to do under the Jeep.
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, we reset the sun. It's now 10:46 in the morning the following day, and we're gonna get started under the Jeep. We have Mr. Quiz here now.
Hello. We have stuff too.
This guy's doing stuff. Our first step is to air this tire up so that we can fit under the Jeep.
That is done now.
Yay.
First thing on the agenda is drive shafts. Drive shafts and then drop the transmission. just tilt it so we can get the top 2 bell housing bolts and disconnect all the wires. We don't have to pull the entire transmission out, now that I'm thinking about it, so we don't have to disconnect all the wires. Just need to do the bell housing and the drive shafts and the cross member to lower the transmission, but that's it.
Okay, we are on the rear drive shaft. Chris has got his 5/16. Now the rear drive shaft can come off, and because it's a slip yoke, it'll just slide off the transfer case output. But bam, okay, that's one drive shaft done. Oh, this is losing a cap, that's not good. And there we go, that's the front drive shaft removed. Super easy. That only took us 22 minutes.
All right, so I'm getting the motor that we're putting in ready to go in there. So I'm gonna be taking, I already took the fan, the wiring harness, the AC compressor. Now I'm taking off the throttle body because it's in the way, because there's a little riser on it. So gotta get this taken apart, and then I'm basically taking all this stuff out, and then I start getting it cleaned up so we can have a good sealing surface. And then pop this guy off because we have a new valve cover gasket.
Now we need to do the cross member, the bell housing bolts, and the torque converter, and then the transmission should slide back enough for us to get the motor out as well. Step 1. Next step, we gotta undo the cross member.
Now let me ask you a question.
That's me. What's up?
Are we gonna do that before we support the transmission with the jack?
No, we were gonna let it all drop down.
It's just all gonna come crashing down.
Yeah.
No. It's going slow. My nut's still in.
Okay, now it's my turn. What we're actually gonna do is take our transmission jack and put it under the transmission and then support the transmission so that we can take the cross member off.
I think that's a not bad idea.
So I'm gonna kick my friend our 1/2-inch impact.
My nut's still in.
Okay, now it's my turn. We're gonna rip this bad boy out.
Can you support yours?
No, I'm gonna let it crash. There we go. Now that's the cross member out. Now we can take it. We can examine how much this Jeep is leaking, and then we can forget about it for a couple hours. Great. Seth has the intake and exhaust off.
Yeah, so I'm taking this off, just apply a little bit of heat and then work the bolts a little bit before you try to take it out. And you always miss one or two that just get away from you, they hide somewhere. So just takes time, just look for them. Not hard at all.
Okay, what I am gonna do now is I'm gonna take its pry bar and I'm going to do our transfer case linkage. I am going to knock this off of here. It's kind of hard to film down here. Okay, this pivot is now off, and now it is connected to where the shifter in the Jeep is. So now this whole thing can kind of pivot and maybe move with the Jeep. This is supposed to slide out of this, so we might have to fight with that. We'll see.
So now we're gonna support the transfer case with a jack stand. So that way I can get over there, do the starter. The dust cover is hiding behind the starter. So I need the entire dust cover off to get to the torque converter.
Because we don't like pulling the engine with the torque converter attached.
because it spills all over the place.
Now what are we doing? I'll tell you what we're doing, guys. We're doing a starter. Okay, Mr. Chris is gonna disconnect these wires, and then we'll do our 2 main starter bolts here. There's one on the bottom, one on the top. One goes this way, one goes this way. I might as well just record you, because I'm not good at that. Now Mr. Chris is doing the starter bolts. This is like kind of hard to get to, especially on a stock Jeep. I mean, we have it jacked up in a super safe way here. We're using our Daytona jack with no jack stands. Look at us. I don't even know if you can say cheese. Seth is still over there working.
For the razor, and I couldn't find it, but I found the scraper without the razor blade, so I'm just gonna use that.
Here's another angle of what he's doing. It's kind of upside down and stuff, because I'm kind of upside down and stuff. And I'm down here with my friend Chris. He's also kind of upside down and stuff. The world looks better from this angle.
Seth, can you kick the ratchet over here? Electric ratchet.
No.
It's already on life support, no keeping that.
No, this thing's cooked.
This one's a lot easier to get through.
It's a boy.
Scraping all the extra carbon buildup off with the plastic. I'm using it the razor blade holder.
Okay, Seth is still working on this. We're doing the dust cover now. Okay, here's Chris's setup. Some of these are not in a bolt, some of these are just a bolt, and oil just dripped on my hand. That was awesome. I wonder if the camera caught that. Look at that. Nice spot of oil right on my hand, right after I took the gloves off. Not bad. Looks like he's got a ratcheting wrench and a normal wrench. He's gonna crank these puppies off because we need to get the dust cover off so we can get the torque converter off. Who's the last guy to tighten that? Who was the last guy to tighten those?
Probably me.
Oh, wow.
Did you get it off?
Yeah. Very clean in here. That looks really good.
That looks really good. Oh, wow. That looks really good.
That's probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. No, it smells good. Oh, wow. I've never smelled one like that. Smells like good oil.
Holy smokes.
This one has, you said 120 on it?
No, like 111.
Fresh, bro.
We started at 10:45, so it's been about an hour and a half almost. Been about an hour. And we've accomplished all of this so far. Yay, there goes our dust cover. Now we can get to our torque converter bolts, which are these guys right here. Now this is fun because it's a 2-man job. Now it is time for the torque converter bolts.
Yes.
So our friend Seth is gonna turn the motor and hold it for us. That guy right there. He's gonna crank it. I'm gonna do nothing. I'm gonna film it for my 113 subscribers.
Turn, 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 turn.
Sucks. Setup sucks. Who the fuck put that?
Hold. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Let the record show this setup blows ass.
Let the record show I got hit in the front tooth with my favorite thing. I didn't buy the wrenches, so I try to break them every chance I get. Yay. All right, Seth, that one's out. Stop!
So I have this cleaned off a lot better than I actually normally do. So I'm gonna throw the new gasket back on and install the valve cover back on.
I'd like to return him.
The starter's not in a bag yet, Chris.
Bro, I've been laying down on the ground the whole fucking time. You want me to pull a bag from my asshole?
This reminds me of that one time you wrapped the plastic around the transfer case. All right, Chris is now working on the exhaust manifold. I don't know how I'm gonna get an angle on this, but some Jeeps have one quote unquote down pipe. This one has two. So yeah, we have 4 bolts total to do. You can see 1 here, 2, 3, and there's a 4th one right there. It's raining. It's raining shit on Ryan's eyes.
Raining, it's pouring. Oh man, it's snoring.
So I should get up or I shouldn't?
Can you get up?
Mr. Chris is gonna try to do the last one from above. He's close, but like not really. He got it off. The exhaust felt, and now the impact is jammed between the front diff and the exhaust.
Got the shift linkage disconnected from here and here.
Oh,
Now it's gonna come loose with the transmission.
look at that. You just took it off the side there, just with a pry bar.
So we have 6 more bolts and then the transmission can come out. And then the motor can come out. Well, I'm gonna start working on that.
So what are you doing first?
First thing, I'm gonna get this bell housing bolt exposed by taking off the shift cable.
So which 2 bolts are you undoing?
This one,
Okay.
this one.
Oh, I see. Okay, there's one that you can't see. Now the linkage is loose, and he's just got to pop it off the actual shifter. And now that's loose, and that can just dangle and get tucked away somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Like you said.
We have the 2 ears, the 2 top 2, the 13 millimeter bolts that go this way, and then the crank position sensor.
This crusty transmission mount, we're gonna take it off next because it is what holds the exhaust on. And our next magic trick is dropping the driveline all the way down until it's as low as it'll go, so we can get access to all these bell housing bolts. And now this guy should just slide right off. Bloop. Now, Chris is gonna get in there and he's gonna lower this bad boy as much as it'll go. While we do this, we're gonna watch for the wires to make sure I'm not getting crazy.
Okay, so it's been a few minutes. I replaced all the little just the little gaskets that go in between the little spacers to hold the valve cover on. So I'm gonna get that set back on, try to remember which bolts went where, and then put it back. So he's making more progress.
The drivetrain tilted, now we have a whole bunch of room we can get up in here with. And we can get those top 2 bell housing bolts, get crank position sensor, and then pull the transmission off. We're gonna do the crank position sensor, and the reason why we're taking it out is because we have had it in the past where we left it in, and then when we put the motor back in, the flex plate actually breaks it, and then it, you have to replace it and it won't start. So we're gonna avoid that by just taking it off. And that is done with an 11 millimeter on these 2 bolts. There's 1 bolt, and both of them. So, we need to get a special socket. We need to get a E12 Torx socket because the top 2 bell housing bolts are in E12 Torx. None of the other ones are, it's just the top 2. A lot of people go into this without this socket and then they just hammer a random socket on. But we have the right socket, so we're gonna use it. If you look up there, that's that top bell housing bolt that we need the socket for. So, okay.
This is the setup. Every extension in the shop. This should be enough. If not, we have more.
There we go. All right, now we're gonna do the big ear bolt. This is the one with the dowel pins. So once you start loosening these, the transmission is gonna start slowly working its way back. So we are gonna take this one out.
That was really tight.
Just like that. Now we are gonna go on the other side and do the same thing. And then it'll be time to pull it back. We're gonna take the jack stand out of the way. And now Mr. Chris is gonna pull this back. And we should separate pretty easily. You might want to support the motor, but also it might not matter a whole lot. I believe you. There we go.
All right.
And now we can go down just a skosh. And then you should be able to pull that back, Mr. Chris. Okay.
Is that good enough?
That is probably good enough. That is full clearance. So now the transmission is completely separated. And now everything under the Jeep is done. Yay, we can finally get up. Okay, wow, I'm up. It is, wait for it to focus. It turned off, it's 1:07. It's 1:07. We started at 10:45, so it's taken us 2 hours with filming to get everything under the Jeep done. So now all we have to do to get this out is disconnect our motor mounts, hook up our chain, pull it out. And then we're gonna finish swapping everything that still needs to be swapped. It's time to try to start ripping this out. So we need to get the hoist set up, and then we need to take the motor mount off.
We also need to lower the Jeep.
Honestly, I think you have the room to just go down.
Yeah.
Go for it. Keep going? Yeah, keep going. No, wait, actually stop.
Where you going?
Almost means I'm gonna come in now. All right, Chris is connecting our hoist with the nut and the chain. He's got both his hands blocking it.
Now we're doing the motor mounts. Now that the motor's secured, gonna do this nut right here. It's a 15.
There we go. Did you get both? Wow.
Both are out.
Now
Time for the other side.
Yep, now we gotta do the other side. And
I'm gonna do a twist to get off this stud, and then it'll come forward a little bit.
wow, big strong man.
Peek around.
Nice.
Dump that
That's
up.
my favorite right there. Okay,
That's
so now
okay.
that the floor is green.
Floor's green, I'm green.
Oh, he's getting the angles. We're doing great. Can go forward a little bit. It's just barely hitting this wiring harness loom. There we go.
Wow. And this is how the 4.0 gets pulled out of an XJ.
Every time.
Without a lift. You gotta be careful with the fascia sometimes. Right now it's nice and high, but if you're not careful, it'll definitely hit there. Or if your hoist doesn't go high enough.
Nice.
High enough. We have to now find a place to set it, but we're gonna take the flex plate off because we have to swap that over here. And then we'll have to take the pilot bearing out of this one.
Appreciating the clean one is really easy when the dirty one is out.
And then another thing you want to pay attention to is the dowels, because sometimes when you pull it out, one will stay in the transmission. Sometimes they'll both stay in the transmission. So if you don't pay attention and you get a motor, like if they both come out with your motor and then your replacement motor doesn't have a dowel at all, you don't have any more. So you got to keep an eye on these. So both of our dowels came out with this motor. And this one also has two, so we're good. We don't need to transfer anything. If I haven't inserted a clip yet, the motor that's coming out of this Jeep originally came out of our beautiful XJ right there.
Is that a good Jeep?
He's gonna roll it.
She'll be coming
Very
around the
nice.
mountain where she comes.
Okay, now we're gonna do the oil filter adapter. This guy right here. XJs have this because the oil filter needs to sit this way. But if you look on the TJ motor, actually I think it's just every other Jeep, the oil filter sticks straight out. So you have two options. You can either transfer it or you can use a smaller oil filter. We're gonna transfer it. So it's one Torx bolt. There we go. Okay.
You don't have a friend for that? Sorry, bro.
This is our oil filter adapter. It's a banjo bolt and a housing with a bunch of O-rings. And this banjo bolt comes out of here. And then there's more O-rings. And more oil. The next part of this swap is this dowel pin. There's a dowel pin right there. It's necessary to locate the oil filter adapter the correct way. And the way you take it out is with a pair of bolt cutters. As we very carefully grab onto it with the bolt cutters. We're not trying to cut it. We're just trying to pry it out like that. Just like that. And now we can hit it back into the new engine. We are on the bench, and now we are going to briefly go over how to rebuild one of these. So there's 3 O-rings. This one, and this one. And they come in this Felpro kit here. It comes with extra ones, more than you need, but it has the ones we need. So we are going to crank this bad boy open, jump all the O-rings out, and then we'll just match them up. So obviously the big one's the big one, great. Let's take this one off, scoop in there, and then you can just pull it off like this. And these O-rings look good because they are good. They're like 4 months old, but since they've been compressed, we're gonna replace them. All right, and there's the other one. Great. Now we're gonna match them up. Wow. That's the bottom one, and that's the only other one. So perfect. Now we're gonna reach in here, grab a little bit of oil, oil this up, throw it around our banjo bolt. And then the last one goes here, just like that. Spread some oil on there. These generally don't leak very often. If you have one that's original and hasn't been touched, it will leak. But once you do the O-rings, they're not really going to leak. So then our banjo bolt goes in, pops through like that. O-rings are seated, and it's done. So now once we get the other motor in the air, we will put this on there, and it will be done. Okay, now we're going to try to take out our pilot bearing.
No, we're not.
And I have a special tool that Chris and I made at one point. It is an extension shoved into a socket. And if it's in there kind of right, it seems to be kind of loose. So I don't really know how well this is going to work, but we're going to use rags and coolant. Now we're going to take the wet rag and shove it in there like this.
Well, Chris, I was trying to help you.
Now we're going to hammer on our tool. Mm-hmm.
How did it do that?
Okay.
Just trying to remember which ones are mandatory for the NC too.
There we go. And now it's mine.
Sorry, didn't want to drop it. Slow handoff. All right, you ready to put the...
Okay, mister, what are you working on?
Intake manifold. We got the exhaust manifold on and some of these bolts set. You don't want to do it tight because these little flanges rest where these need to be, right there and right here,
So
on both sides.
They tuck in behind.
And then you got to be real careful and line up your dowel pins here and here. It'll just go together.
Yeah, you have to make sure it's seated all the way because last time we put a motor in this Jeep 4 months ago, I didn't make sure the dowels were seated, so the intake had a crazy leak, and immediately it would go up to like 8,000 RPM, which you can't do. So.
It's not good if that happens.
All right, now it's time to put the oil filter adapter in. But we raised the motor. The motor's in the air now. And so now we're getting ready to throw it in. So I'm gonna throw this dowel pin for the oil filter adapter back in. That's all the way in. Here's our adapter. Put that outer O-ring in. Oh. Oops, I gotta take that out first. All right, now we're gonna pull this out because I forgot about this. Thank you, mister.
All that just for that, huh?
The bolt in.
Your motor's moving a lot.
And my motor's on a Disney ride. This has a torque spec. I forget what it is. I know it was tight as shit, so we're gonna go tight as shit. That's pretty close. Okay, that's how you do the oil filter adapter on a 4.0. Yay.
Try not to be out of breath by the end of it.
Okay, now what we're doing is this beautiful hole right here. Bam. It was the distributor, but this Jeep is a spark or a coil pack Jeep. So it has what's called an oil pump drive unit. And the cam position sensor sits on top of that. So we have to put it in, but you can't just swap it. You have to index it with cylinder 1 at top dead center. So we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna pull the first spark plug out so that I can feel for compression. And then Mr. Chris is gonna turn the motor, and when I feel compression, I'm gonna tell him to stop. And then we're gonna line up the timing mark. It's gonna be super cool. There's our spark plug. Now we're gonna go, and I'm good. Well, that feels like air. Nope, that's compression. Great, we're immediately on the compression cycle. So now what we're gonna do is come over here. Come over here, sweeties. So these are our timing marks for a 4.0 right here. We're gonna go excavating. We need to be at 0 degrees, which is top dead center. And right here, if you can kind of see, right at the tip of my fingernail, is a notch in the crank pulley. We're gonna line that notch up with the hash mark with the 0.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. This is our oil pump drive, and what we need to do is we need to take the cam position sensor off the top, and now we need to stick a drill bit. There's a hole here, and then there's a hole inside this thing, and we need to line those holes up and then stick a drill bit through to keep them together for when we reinsert this. This is where the plug goes. This is going to be at like 7 o'clock roughly. And then as you turn it, it's going to engage with the cam gear, and it's going to rotate about 45 degrees. And we want it to face straight back when it's done. So we're going to put it in like that, which means the oil drive needs to be facing like that, which it is 180 degrees off. So I'm going to turn it like that. And then we should be able to slot this in there. And then as it seats, it'll rotate. We'll put our hold down clamp back on. And now we can remove our drill bit because that can't move anymore. And then we can put our cam sensor back on. And then that's that. We will put our cam sensor back on, put our spark plug back in, and then that's all good. Oh, I see how you did that. That was smart. All right, Chris has his Loctite going on the bolts. Wow. And he's gonna put them in. No, we're like actually tightening my crank bolt.
That way it's literally just...
Are you
Probably
standing
just
on my
dirty.
pick, Richie?
We are gonna take this big empty hole and fill it with 4 liters of straight 6.
I get nervous for this part because I'm in charge of
A lot
up and down. And if you get those directions mixed up in this process, bam!
All right, here she comes. I don't even know what time it is. I stopped keeping track of time. I think it's like 7:30. You're good. Almost. There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Gonna keep it going down slow. So just tell me when you need to stop.
Stop. That way. Yes?
That way.
This way. Not necessarily.
That's fine. That's enough. That's enough. We're both trying to tilt this. I'll try to grab the exhaust.
Hold.
Yep, we're good on the exhaust.
Okay. It's kind of wiring the back, and then it's hitting the dipstick, and not moving the transmission.
Keep going.
No, it's got to go in now. I got to get my motor mount on the stud.
Cleared all this wiring. It's kind of hard to see in there, but we've cleared all the wiring. At least on this side.
I only need like an inch, and then we're on this surface.
I'm using this pry bar to keep the engine level side to side.
Stop. Now let's try to go in.
Here's. There we go. That's what it is. That tilt back. We're really missing.
All right. I want to push it because I'm right there. All right. There we go.
That's in the stud?
Yep. Let me double check. Wiring's all good.
I think we just keep going. That Chris's side is set. I can't see.
But we got that motor mount stud on the motor mount. So now we got to do the same over here, except for there's no stud.
There it
It
is.
just
On the bottom. There's a stud.
oh, the bottom stud. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't see it, but there is a stud under my pry bar, and we're gonna put that in one of those holes.
I'm gonna slowly go down.
I mean, we're resting on the stud. There we go. All right. That is the motor in its hole. So now we're gonna check behind and make sure there's no wires or anything messed up.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's in where it goes.
Went smoothly.
Have some friends. Have some friends come over and help. Or you could use like the fancy load leveler thing that's got like 4 hooks and whoop, 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 whoop.
Which we
whoop.
I have
have.
one of those. It's just easier to use 2 dudes.
Yeah, in a pry bar.
Yeah.
And quicker. Okay, we're back. Now, last thing we did was we bolted the motor in. So now we need to make the transmission. So it's time to put everything back together. So we're gonna make the transmission, and then I'm probably just gonna time lapse the rest of the stuff and give some updates, and we're gonna see how fast we can get it together. It is exactly 10 o'clock right now on the next day. So quick rundown of the setup. The engine is bolted onto the Jeep. The crane is still attached, so that way we can change the level if we have to. We're gonna try not to. We're gonna keep it tilted back. And then we're gonna get down here and we're gonna connect them. Pretty simple. Okay, the camera is set up where you can kind of see the bell housing, and I'll try to describe what we're doing. How does the tilt angle look? Oh man, I'm hitting the camera.
Engine needs to go up,
Okay.
or this needs to go down.
Okay, where would Seth put the handle? What? Where's the handle? Why is it not on the thing? Oh, there it is. It's on the floor. Like this.
Yes.
Tell me when. Hey, I'm lifting the Jeep.
Yeah, I see that.
Hey, I'm lifting the Jeep.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, I think you can kind of see the ear. I don't know. If that shot sucks, then I'm sorry. Who's ready?
Yep.
I have to rotate ever so slightly. Oh, did you do your torque converter? Chris is gonna try to rotate the torque converter so that a bolt on the flex plate lines up with the torque converter so that he doesn't have to try to spin the torque converter once it's all mated.
I think that's ballpark. It's hard to see. So we're gonna go with that.
All right, that works. I'm gonna reattach this hoist to a rear, or watch your head, to a bolt that's more in the rear so that we can try to get more level out of this. Okay. Let's see now what we can do.
Hey, that helped a lot.
Honestly, that's pretty close. I could maybe give it another pump. Like that. There we go. Oh, I guess we didn't get any bell housing bolts ready. That's okay. Well, the good news is we're almost there. All right, we're not gonna try to draw it in with the bolt, but what we can do is set the bolt into this dowel, and that keeps us kind of level. All right, that is the bolt in the dowel.
Okay.
There we go.
Are you in?
Yep. That's it.
I think we're there.
What do you think?
I'm threading mine.
Okay. All right. Me as well. All right, guys. That's how you made a transmission. Well, let me see. Can you see that? You can. You can just barely see that at the top of the screen. So now it's close. The dowels are both seated on both sides. So we're going to draw these side bolts in, so that way the engine and transmission are completely mated, and then we'll start throwing this thing back together. Okay, so Chris has handed me a ratcheting, or an electric ratchet, so basically, if we're wrong, then we're fucked. Nah, we good. I'm not gonna like tighten it.
No.
But.
No, I'll tighten all of them.
All right, everybody, here's another angle. It's all mated. We got those bolted in, nothing else is. So now Chris is probably gonna do the rest of the bell housing bolts and then the torque converter. Yeah, here it is. It's in. That's officially in. So I'm gonna set up a time lapse. Like I said earlier, we're not gonna do the reassembly step by step because it's the opposite of the removal. If you need to, just go, I don't know, write the steps down or something. I don't know, man. Figure it out. So far we've been working on this for 3 days. The first day we worked on it for an hour and a half. The second day, yesterday, we got sidetracked with our new compressor. Video on that coming soon. It's 10:22, so it took us 20 minutes to do that. Not bad. Not bad. So now we'll see if we can have this done by noon. It's kind of wishful thinking, but that's what we're gonna shoot for. So I'll let you know if there's an update. Yay! Okay, it's all done. I didn't film any updates because I didn't want to. I got everything put together here. He got everything but the drive shafts done. We're gonna start it and make sure it runs before we add coolant and do the drive shafts. So we started at 10:02, 10 o'clock. We started at 10. It is 1:57, and we took about an hour-long lunch break because immediately I had to go get a water pump gasket because the water pumps aren't the same, I learned. So, yeah. So minus that hour, it's been 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So it's been 3-4 hours. And it's done. So now I guess we're gonna start it and see what happens. It's on a battery charger. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just go for it. Can't wait to see what we forgot to do. Okay, well, we're gonna get in there and try to start it. So we're gonna be looking for oil pressure, really, among all things. So it's already primed because the ignition was on. Let me get this better. Okay, let's give it a go. Yep. Hey, so there's a bad battery connection. All right, let's try again. Hey, so there's a bad battery connection. So it has a really dead battery.
I tried it twice.
I don't know, man. I just rotated them.
No, I know the rules.
All right, now. Probably.
Go ahead.
We have good, very good cold oil pressure.
Yes, oil pressure.
Yep, good oil pressure.
This is a nice sounding motor.
This sounds amazing.
Is that supposed to be there?
No vacuum leaks. Oh, that's not where that goes. Whoopsie. So yeah, I guess that's the Jeep running. It's really not that hard, I guess. I mean, I guess if you don't have the tools, it is that hard. So we're gonna do the drive shafts, coolant. We're not gonna let it run without coolant for very long, but we're gonna throw coolant in it, and then we'll come back. And then once the leaks are good, then we'll, yeah, I mean, that'll be over. So this is our heater core outlet hose. We're gonna take this off because this is how we're gonna burp the system. So
You want Loctite on the drive shaft?
no, Chris, I want it to fall off.
Didn't know that one was a stupid question.
Now we're gonna pour our antifreeze in here until it comes out of this port. And then when it comes out of this port, we're gonna put this back on. And then that's most of the system bled. Let's see if we can do this without spilling it all. This is the same coolant we took out. Oh, fuck, we're good. Didn't spill any. Okay, we're gonna finish it off with just normal water because it's got enough antifreeze in there, it'll be all right. Oh, it's coming out, it's rushing out. Okay, so that's how you know it's bled. And then what we're gonna do is just pour it in here until it's up to the top. We just wanna get as much as we can in the system before we turn it on. We do not want the thermostat to stick closed. Now the next part is we're gonna overfill our overflow canister by a little bit. Right now it is right to the full line, and it's kind of hard to see from the outside on this one, but it is right here. We're gonna bring it up to about here. And the reason for that is as it purges the air out of the system, it's gonna pull more coolant in. So we're just gonna kind of estimate the amount it'll need to be proper. And if it's slightly over or underfilled afterwards, it's fine. And we're gonna spill a bunch of water while we're doing it, but that's okay. Okay. Now that's overfilled, probably a little bit more than it needs to be, but she'll level out. All right, well, that's gonna wrap up the video here. The XJ is running. It's been idling for a minute now. We're all the way up to temp. We still have good oil pressure. The check engine light is because on first starts on XJs, I disconnect the temp sensor just to make the electric fan come on so I can verify that it still works. It's been running long enough that the upper radiator hose has gotten warm, which means that the thermostat is at least partially opened, which means it's bleeding air, which is the big thing. So basically, there's not much left to do. The drive shaft's completed, everything's done. We're gonna take it on a test drive, but it's gonna be fine. So there's nothing leaking on it, which is good. been running here for about 20 minutes, so everything's set here. So basically, we're gonna move on to this. This will be our next video. We got a new air compressor, so.
So yeah, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, I'm sorry. If you didn't, cool, I guess. Stay tuned, like he said, compressor swap outs happening, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Some blooper content for myself. Look at that. Woo! Oh, wow. We're going to touch camera tips.
Would you mind grabbing me another extension while you're
No!
over there?
No!
No!
Get the belt, run the... I don't even know what all we're going to get done.
I figure we're going to get done the things that we want to do. And we'll leave the other stuff for Chris.
What the fuck are you getting footage of right now? I'm just waiting on for Chris. Just waiting for Chris. Mr. Chris.
I'm over here now.
What the fuck? Are you good? I got no calls. No calls.
Yeah, I know.
Bad comms, bad comms. Watch that tripod. Okay, here's our bowl of goo. It is now time. Shit. Let's just do it now. Oh! But Chris said he was gonna take care of the coolant from the K truck, and he never did. Oh, it is dead. She's completely dead. Look at that. Oh, ow, my back! Oh my God, I suck at this job. Okay. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna do my job. The joke was a starter doesn't go in the bag. Why are you always so angry?
It doesn't go in a bag. I'm gonna make it go in a fucking bag.
Oh my gosh! It's the dog cage for Mr. Chris. Get under the dang Jeep. Get to work, mister.
No, the tail's wagging. That's not.
Oh, that's
Mr.
not Chris. That's not Chris. So now I gotta
Ugh.
clean this. So this is out of our K truck. Unconventional.
Don't leave that in.
Half the time we spend today, it's gonna be me getting the belt out. Come on, man. What's going on? Give me my belt. Some blooper content for myself. Look at that. Woo! Oh, wow. We're gonna touch camera tips.
Can you guess how we got fucked today?
Our compressor payment got canceled.
Close.
It got delayed. Where's...
Kinda, maybe.
What?
We got an email saying, oh, hey, that brand new compressor you spent almost $2,000 on, it showed up damaged. We're going to see what we can do. That's a lot of fun. That's it.
So is that Home Depot?
Yeah,
Go get it?
in theory, we can go get it, or we can...
Do we have a response or are we waiting?
No, customer service. It said customer service will reach out to you within 24 hours.